What's going on, everybody? Spunky Nights on One coming, guys, another video. Coming at you guys with my Eagles Raiders Week 15 preview. So the Eagles come to this game on a 3-game losing streak. They desperately need to start getting back on the winning track, because right now their grasp on the NFC East is slipping. I think at this point we might as well just pretty much say forget the number 1 seed, because I don't think that's going our way. That's gonna happen for us. You know, we need to win out and then get some help. And obviously anything can happen. Anything can happen, but I don't think it's very likely we're getting that number 1 seed. But the Eagles still control their playoffs, making the playoffs if they just win the damn division. You know, sometimes I wonder if this damn league is fixed, because it feels like the NFL loves bragging about the fact that they like talking about the fact nobody's won the NFC East back-to-back years since 04-05 when the Eagles did it. And, you know, it's just crazy, because the Eagles had 2 opportunities to do it. They got an opportunity to do it this year, and they had an opportunity to do it in 2022, 2023. You remember they won in 2022, then they, obviously lost the Super Bowl, but they had the chance to win the NFC East the following year, and they would have won division back-to-back years. But then they just had this complete collapse. Even though the team didn't really look good at all, let's just keep it real. They did not look that good at all throughout that year. But still, they had the opportunity. They had the NFC East in the palm of their hands, and they just choked it away. And I'm getting the same vibes this year. You know, we won division last year, 2024. Went on to win the Super Bowl, and we have the chance to win the division back-to-back seasons. And right now, this team is just choking away the damn division to the Cowboys again. And, I don't know what the hell. I honestly don't know what's wrong with this team. Like, it's so freaking annoying as a fan. I know you all feel the same way. But these choking and just forgetting how to play football, it's old, man. It gets really old, and they need to figure this. They need to figure this out as soon as possible. But enough about that. This is about the Eagles-Raiders matchup. The Raiders are one of the worst teams in the league. They're coming to Philadelphia. And I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. I would not be shocked one bit if the Raiders coming to Philadelphia and they beat the Eagles. Kenny Pickett is probably going to be the starting quarterback of the Raiders. For what I understand, Geno Smith is not ready to return. So former Eagles quarterback who was with the Eagles last year, won a Super Bowl with the Eagles last year, is probably going to be the quarterback for the Raiders in this game. Pete Carroll, head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, is 9-0 in his career against the Philadelphia Eagles. That goes back to his time with the New England Patriots, of course, with the Seattle Seahawks, who for whatever reason we can't beat that damn team. So yeah, that goes back to those 2 teams that he coached prior, and he's never lost to the Eagles. Last year we finally beat Russell Wilson, who we never could beat during his time in Seattle. We finally beat Russell Wilson. Will this be the year that we finally beat Pete Carroll? Only time's gonna tell, right? Only time's gonna tell. But this Eagles team desperately needs a win. They just continue to slide. They're 8-5 right now. They need to get back on the winning track. If they completely collapse away the damn NFC East, then there needs to be house cleaned. There needs to be, people need to pay for that. There needs to be house cleaned in in Philadelphia. And I'm not just talking about the assistant coaches, or I'm not just talking about Kevin Patullo. There probably needs to be a change of head coach too. Just keeping it real, because how the hell do you choke away the division that you have in the grasp of your hands? And you do it twice. You do it twice. You do it in 2023, and now you turn around doing 2025. So if this team has that collapse and they just hand this division over to the Cowboys, change has got to be made. Kevin Patullo, it's more than just Kevin Patullo. Everybody says, oh, Kevin Patullo needs to go, which he does. He needs to be fired. But there's more issues with this team than just the offensive play calling. So let's just keep that real. If this team chokes away the NFC East, they just hand it over to the Cowboys, then Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman need to step in, and some changes got to be made. I don't care what did they came up with Super Bowl last year. No, I don't care. Ultimately, this team, there's an issue with this team, and it needs to be addressed if this team misses the playoffs because they just choked it away at the end. But anyway, going to this game, the injury report is out. Eagles got some bad news. Defensive tackle Jalen Carter will not be playing this game either, dealing with the recovery from the shoulder surgery. He did not participate in practice. This one right here is not a surprise to me. Lane Johnson still is not ready to come back, dealing with his foot injury. Did not participate in practice. Questionable in this game, tackle Cameron Williams with a shoulder injury, but he was a full participant in practice. Looking at the Raiders here, the Raiders are, wide receiver Alex Bachman is dealing with a thumb injury. He was limited in practice. Tackle Colton Miller is dealing with an ankle injury. He was also limited in practice. And like I said earlier, Geno Smith is is dealing with a shoulder back injury. Did not participate in practice. So those are 3 players out for them. Questionable for the Raiders is safety Jeremy Chin. He's dealing with a back injury. He was limited in practice. Center guard Jordan Meredith is dealing with a foot injury. He was a full participant in practice. Tight end Ian Thomas is dealing with a calf injury. He was a full participant in practice. So that's the injury report for both teams. Now let's get to this game here. This is a game where the Eagles are the better team, by far the better team. The Raiders are not a good football team. But it's usually teams like this that the Eagles find a way to lose to. So I'm not taking the Raiders lightly at all. I don't take any opponent that we play lightly at all. You can't. You damn sure cannot take. You can't take any team, especially at this point with the way the Eagles are playing lately. You can't take anybody lightly. People say, "Oh yeah, this should be a win for the Eagles," but they said the same thing against the Chargers last week. There is no such thing as a game that that's going to be a guaranteed win. No, that's what I meant to say, guaranteed win. No. At the end of the day, these are still NFL teams, and a lot of teams love to play spoilers and stuff. So I mean, we can't take them lightly. This is also, like I said, Kenny Pickett's his first start with the Raiders, going up against his former team he won a Super Bowl last year. This is an opportunity for Kenny Pickett to audition himself to possibly get a starting job, either with the Raiders next year, because I don't think Geno's a long-term solution for them. So possibly get that starting job with the Raiders next year, or audition himself for other teams around the league and get another opportunity to be a starter. So this is a big opportunity for Kenny Pickett. Make no mistake about it. When he was our backup quarterback, he had to come in last year when Jalen Hurts went down. Overall, he played well in that game. And the times that he was on the field for us, he had some good moments. So I'm not gonna take Kenny Pickett lightly. He has something to play for. And when a team got something to play for, like a player got something to play for, they're going to play their best football. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kenny Pickett goes out there and has a career day against us. That's just our freaking luck as Eagle fans, right? So I'm not taking him lightly. I'm not taking the Raiders lightly. This team don't really have anything to lose. You could, they'll probably be doing a bunch of, going forward on fourth and long and stuff. Like a team that got nothing to lose. It's more of an evaluation process for them. They will also like to play spoiler in the process too. So I'm damn sure not taking this team lightly. Put it that way. But the keys to victory are always the same, man. It's the big guys up front, the trenches. Those are the guys who set the tone for the game. So big guys up front have got to get the pressure. We got to take away the running game. First and foremost, like I said, take away the running game. If we could do that, we could try to force them. We could try to force them to beat us with. Kenny Pickett to beat us with his arm. Raheem Morser is the running back for the Las Vegas Raiders. Definitely a very serviceable, solid running back. We take away the running game, then we get the pressure. We have to get to Kenny Pickett. We have to get to him early. He is definitely a quarterback that is prone to turn the ball over. So we can get if we can get some turnovers in this game, then that's a good place to be at for our defense. Getting turnovers, and hopefully this offense waits their ass up again together and actually take advantage of those turnovers. They didn't quite do it against the Chargers, but who knows. Wide receivers for the Las Vegas Raiders. Alex Bachman, who I mentioned earlier, is dealing with an injury. Not sure he's going to be playing. But if he's not playing, they still got Tyler Lockett, who was a veteran, you know, that played with the Seattle Seahawks for many years, and he was with the Tennessee Titans the last year, whatever. You know, he's back with he's back with he's back with his Seattle Seahawks teammate Geno Smith, who's not going to be playing, of course, and the Seattle Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll. So reunited with them. Tyler Lockett is a very solid wide receiver, you know, who's been in the league for many years. Deontay Thornton is another wide receiver that can, a very solid receiver that can stretch the field. Very, you know, great speed. He's a guy that we definitely got to watch out for. Tight end, Brock Bowers is one of those, in my opinion, one of the most underrated tight ends in the game. He doesn't get nearly the amount of attention that, you know, a couple of these other guys get, but he's a very solid tight end that we definitely have to make sure that he's accounted for at all times. Yeah. So yeah, take away the running game of the Raiders. Get the pressure on Kenny Pickett, try to force some turnovers. Then that's a good place for us to be at. So I'm looking at guys on that D line: Moro Jomo, Jalen Hunt, Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis. You know, I'm looking at you guys, Brandon Graham. I'm looking at all these guys on the D line. You know, the pass rushes and stuff. We gotta get to the quarterback. Bottom line, we have got to get to the quarterback. We have to get Kenny Pickett down. We cannot allow Kenny Pickett to get comfortable in that pocket. Excuse me. Offensively, you know, this offense has just been it's been a pain in the ass watching this offense with all this talent. This offense struggle the way they've been struggling all year. You know, they're going up against a Raiders defense that is not that good. The Raiders defense is not good at all. They're a mediocre defense at best, and this is an opportunity for Saquon Barkley to get another 100-yard rushing game. He got his first 100-yard rushing game last Monday against the Chargers. It took week 14 for him to get a 100-yard rushing game. I know that's crazy, but that's true. But this is an opportunity for him to get another 100-yard rushing game. Get the running game going early. Saquon Barkley, I think he have a field day against this Raiders defense. Get the running game going early with Saquon Barkley. That will open up things in the play action, you know, in the play action. Dallas Goedert, Grant Calcaterra, those guys, and of course AJ Brown, who had his third straight 100-yard receiver game, but the Eagles lost that game, and of course he dropped a big pass that in the end zone that would have won the game. That pretty much would have won the game for the Eagles. Gotta catch those damn balls. He also had one that went through his hands and it ended up being an interception. That was bad as well. Like, AJ, you want to be the playmaker, which you are a playmaker. You know, some mistakes you have got to, you know, you can't make those mistakes. You have to bring that ball in. But yeah, no play action pass. The running game establishing the running game will open up the play action pass. That will open up the passing game to Dallas Goedert, Grant Calcaterra, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson as well. But most importantly, this O-line's got to be better. Jordan Mailata has been struggling this year. Cam Dixon, Lane Johnson, and Cam Jurgens that have been battling injuries all season. You know, Lane Johnson is out in this game. You know, so the O-line's just not been the same that it's been in previous. It's been a dominant O-line for years. It hasn't been quite the same this year. But those guys, you know, they have to get together. They have to protect, because they're going up against one of the best pass rushers in the league, a guy who I have a lot of respect for, Maxx Crosby. Maxx Crosby is an absolute playmaker. He's a big difference maker. You know, one thing I do respect about Maxx Crosby is, you know, he's a great player that can help a Super Bowl contending team right now. But he's very loyal to the Raiders, and I respect that. You know, he's a great player, somebody that I have a lot of respect for. You know, in this game, you know, he's gonna be a guy that we have to make sure is not allowed to be disruptive in this game. Maxx Crosby has to be accounted for at all times, because if he's not, he's one of those guys that's gonna be a force to be reckoned with on this Raiders defense. So make sure that, you know, we have Maxx Crosby. You know, I'm talking to you, Jordan Mailata, because he's gonna be on your side a lot. make sure Max Crosby does not, is not allowed to dominate this game. Now, with that said, score prediction, I don't believe in the Eagles right now. I honestly don't. I'm making these videos because that's what I do, but I really don't believe in this team right now. And, I know I do this whole, pick the other team for reverse psychology, but at this point right now, until this Eagles team show me something different, no, I don't know. When I pick the other team to win, pretty much I believe that at this damn point, to be honest with you. I'm obviously hoping that the opposite happens and they go out there and they get the job done. But I'm picking the Raiders to win this game by a score of 28-21. A touchdown victory. Prove me wrong, Eagles. You lose to the worst team in the league or one of the worst teams in the league. That is an embarrassment. The Raiders have been one of the worst teams in the league all season, but I could very well see them coming to Philadelphia at 1 o'clock and absolutely embarrass us. That's just me being honest. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tomorrow afternoon. But everybody got to do their job. Offense, defense, special teams. Everybody has to contribute to get this win. Special teams has been a little bit disappointing the past couple of weeks. Jake Elliott has been a little off. Obviously, offense has been a disappointment all year. The defense overall played well against the Chargers. They did the best they could to give our offense many opportunities, and the offense just couldn't take advantage of them. But yeah, I don't really have a whole lot more to say about this. The Eagles need this win. They desperately need this win. It's crunch. It's crunch time. It is truly crunch time. This is a game they need to win. It's a game they should win. With the talent that we have on this team, this is the game that we should win. But what we should win and what we actually do are two different things. So we're gonna find out tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, I'm picking the Raiders to win 28-21. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. As always, go Birds. Spunky Nice 91 is out of here. Fly, go fly. Peace.
That's all, folks.